Here we are live. We'll be gathering the troops in just a minute. I just remembered that I forgot to change a setting here really quick. And so there we go. Setting is officially changed, so the Facebook folks can now actually see me. Hi, Tammy, welcome. We will gather folks from around town. Hi, Karen. Oh my goodness, yay! We've got a little crowd for this, which is always fun. I like crowds. Yeah, how's everybody doing today? We've got a fun time to happen today. What we are going to be doing. I've got a lot of stuff. Hi, Debra. Good to see you. The YouTube folks are popping on. Hopefully the Facebook folks will be popping on really soon. Say hello if you're watching from Facebook. Busy, hot here. That's Tammy said it's hot there. Yeah. It'll cool down. Oh, wait. No, I think I forget. Where are you? Tammy, where are you? I forget. Just because I had a client earlier, so it's a little hard. Hi, Richard. How are you? Good to see you. Hope everybody's doing great. Karen says, looking forward to this. Yes, I am doing great. Thank you. And I just want to make sure that the Facebook is alive and New Mexico in the 90s. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. So we just dropped. We've been in the 90s here with a bazillion degrees humidity here in Chicago. And today it's about 70 something and it rained. I was out walking earlier. So let me just check the social channels here to make sure, because I missed a setting because I'm trying to do so many things at once. But that is okay. I need someone to run my tech, That's Monica. Okay. Monica said, Monica, could you make another comment? Because there we go. Now I'm seeing, great. Thank you, Monica. There seemed to be a little bit of a delay. 7% humidity there. Oh my God. That's no. Well, welcome everyone. Happy Sunday, wherever you are in the world. We are going to be playing with energy. Today is officially the, let's say, eclipse day, which is amazing. So I want to welcome you all. And Monica says, yay for meditation. Yes, it'll be a short one, but it'll be a really good one too. I think we're gonna talk all about the eclipse and all the energy. So hey all, welcome. I am Debbie Taitel. I know I have Debra everywhere. Debbie's some places, Deborah's some other places. But I'm Debra Taitel and I am the spiritual director for Spirit Light Insight, which is really just me. And here we are to talk about all these things energetic. So today I am super, super excited because I hijacked a friend of mine and literally twisted her arm, well, energetically anyway, to come on and join us. So I have my friend, extraordinary clairvoyant support system. God bless this woman. I thank God for her every single day. My good friend, Denise Primrose. We're going to be bringing Denise on to help us today. So it would be helpful if I put you in the right place. Hi, Denise.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Debbie.
So, yeah, thank you for letting me hijack you. Denise was just in Bimini, and then she got a really bad cold, not COVID, but she got a really bad cold. And then I think, did I wake you up today? No, you were just going back down, right?
Yeah, no, I was awake. I forced myself out for my 3-mile walk this morning with a cold.
With a cold, but she is here and she's going to help us. And there's a really cool thing that I hope, and actually, Denise, we didn't talk about this, so it's on the fly, but I'm just going to go with, yeah, okay, with being in a control space for when we get to the meditation part.
Sure thing.
That would be awesome. And what that means, and I appreciate that more than you know, what that means is that during the meditation portion of this, Denise is going to be overseeing the space and making sure that it's safe for everybody to do this work and to be here. And oh my gosh, yeah, so Monica is here. Uh, Kurt, hi, Kurt. Oh my God. Okay, so this man, okay, so I'm gonna bust it. So I dated this man, I think when I was in my 20s, something like that. Like, I don't know. We were really young. And this man is so awesome. He is a musician out in California and is probably, I'm so glad that we reconnected after all these years because he really is truly one of the most positive people that I've seen in a really long time. He takes every piece of adversity and gets back up and whatever it is, and he's always smiling. And actually, Kurt, that's what I remember about you all those years ago too. You were always smiling no matter what you were doing. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. So thank you for being here. So I guess we could jump right in. What do you think? We'll start talking about things. I'm just kind of setting up screens and things like that so that I can message people and all of that. But so I said, I'm Debbie Taitel. Hi, Josiane. Oh, we're getting everybody. We've got all the folks that show up to my meditation classes. So this is fantastic. So welcome all of you. I appreciate you all being here. So today we are going to be talking about the super flower blood moon lunar eclipse, or as my buddy Michael Arrington said last night, that reminded him of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And that's kind of what it feels like as well. Um, so, hi, Karen. Wow, everybody's really joining. So, yeah, the super flower blood moon lunar eclipse. Don't try to say that 10 times fast. But have you been feeling the energy from this full moon? Like, have we all been just, it has been supercharged and super intense out there. It's ridiculous. And it's coming from every angle, wherever you are. I mean, I'm in Chicago and the energy is just buzzing. So I'm trying not to pay attention too much to it, but it's absolutely crazy here in Chicago. But it's very intense. And then on top of the full moon and all the energy things going on in the world today, keeping myself calm, that's a real effort. Yeah, we'll give you some tools to keep yourself calm, Richard, because it really is. We have to all be calm. This is a very tricky time. And what is that? Isn't there like a meme or something that says keep calm and carry on or something like that? There's some kind of meme that says keep calm. But I want to give you some information and some background about the lunar this eclipse that is we're already feeling the effects of it, right? Um, but just in case you don't know, a lunar eclipse is always a full moon, and it usually marks endings or culmination points, right, in our lives. And one of the reasons I want to start out with all of this is I read somewhere, and I actually went and had to go find it again. Susan Miller of Astrology Zone. I don't know if anybody else pays attention to her. She's pretty amazing with her astrology. I follow several astrologers and numerologists and things like that. But Susan Miller of Astrology Zone, I think, says it best that a solar eclipse is really a new moon on steroids, and a lunar eclipse is a full moon on steroids. They have the strength of 3 new moons or full moons. So basically, everything that we want to hide and stuff inside and not shine a light on, imagine that it's getting illuminated 3 times and magnified 3 times, so it feels bigger and bigger and bigger. That is a lot of energy, people. It's a lot. But here's the thing. It is not what is going on in the celestial bodies or the heavens or all of that. Yes, we're being affected by that. How we respond by not being resistant to what's being lit up, not being resistant to those things that are coming up for us. It's all about what's going on inside of us and how we respond. And I know that you've all heard this time and time again. Oh, it's not about what's happening. It's about how we respond. Well, it's really true, but it's also true that we need to turn our attention within. Full moons tend to light up and deliver news quickly, right? It's like that magnified by 3 times. So whatever was in darkness is no longer in darkness. So it delivers news quickly and brings conclusions or endings. And since there's this eclipse here, it's even more so. But think of it this way. All endings are new beginnings from a different space, from a different relationship to where we are. Yeah. So anytime something leaves, we are different and we relate to the world differently because we are different because we release whatever it is, that thing. It's an incredible benefit. Hi, Franzia. Welcome. She says, hi, everyone. So between the lunar eclipse and Mercury retrograde, we are really magnifying all the news. Yes, even birth is an ending. Wow, that's really good. It's really true. And it's funny because I was going to talk about death and birth later on, and so you jumped in there, but it's really true, Richard, that even birth is an ending. Because we're ending one form, and that's being in spirit, and then we're taking a body, right? So that's a part. But with all these things going on, we are magnifying the retrograde, the eclipse, the full moon, all of it. Reflect, release, review, and our thoughts and our minds. And lunar eclipses tend to be super emotional because they tend to bring final closure, which can cause a bit of grief to happen. But they also bring truth to light, and the truth isn't always comfortable. In fact, I will go so far as to say truth is very uncomfortable most of the time. Wasn't it? Denise, who was it? What was the movie line? You can't handle the truth. Who was that? Jack Nicholson. Wait a minute. Yeah, you can't handle the truth, right? I don't remember what movie it was from. But sometimes it's true. Sometimes we don't want to handle the truth. So we think we want it, but when it comes and it's not comfortable, it means we have to shift our thoughts, about people, places, things, and really, a few good men. There we go. That's right. Yep. Now I get it. Oh, a bunch of you all know that. See, I don't know my movie quotes. I'm a clairvoyant. I could teach meditation with the best of them, but don't know where my movie quotes come from. But our relationship changes with all these outer things, and we are human, and the reality is that sometimes the truth hurts. I actually see that in readings all the time, where a lot of times I'll get people that they're hurt not because the person did it to them, but because they had chosen to believe something different, even though their gut told them the truth. So we're going to get to some truths because, hey, I don't know about you, but I personally would rather have truth that hurts than live based on lies and false beliefs. And sometimes that means, and I am the worst at this, but sometimes that means we have to admit that we were wrong or we made a mistake. And that is, I think, one of the hardest things that any of us have to deal with. So, but if we do make a mistake, if we were wrong, we need to forgive ourselves. You know, that's the biggest thing, is we don't need to sit in it. And Lord knows, before I got into really learning how to meditate and heal myself, was the poster child for punishing myself. So yeah, there's that. So then, Denise, you're nodding there. Oh, this is really good. Richard said our egos trip us up. Yes, we're going to talk about that too. Yeah, and truth brings forth growth. Try saying that with aligners in your mouth, especially when truth is received and recognized. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really true. And the one thing that I do want to talk about, because our egos do trip us up, and this is right where I was going, Richard, that anytime we think our truth is the only truth, and we feel like we have to shout it from the rooftops and shove it in people's faces and push it into somebody else, or make them believe us, or make them see, or get super frustrated at that level. Why can't you see this? Anytime we feel the need to push our so-called truth on others and pound it into their minds so they see it, we are coming from a space of ego. And there's no spirit in ego. Seeing things with the eye of spirit is never an ego space. Nope. No ego, ego, ergo about it. Spirit is neutral and takes into consideration that others in their humanness may have a different perspective than ours. And sometimes we're the ones that need to kind of sit back and reestablish the truth for ourselves. We want to discern what is true for us. So there's that. There's my rant for the day. Hope you enjoyed my rant. I do rant occasionally. What can I say? So back to the super flower full blood moon lunar eclipse. So those of you who regularly read my monthly newsletter know that I get a lot of planet information and astrology from the Old Farmer's Almanac. It is one of my favorite places to go. It is all the lore, and it is all the good stuff that the farmers, kind of can see by the crops and all that. And it's a great resource if you want to know the history and why things are named a certain way. So I always check the almanac for my kind of lunar things, and they really have some good information here. Richard says he was born in 1969, so this crazy energy isn't unfamiliar. Yeah, it's Yeah, I'll bet 1969. You actually you were born into some of that energy. So this super moon, super full moon, is the first of 4 super moons. So this is directly out of Farmer's Almanac. You can Google it, but I'll give it to you here. A super moon is when the moon, it's, you know, something 90 degrees, whatever. That's too technical for this clairvoyant. So very simply put, it is when the moon looks and actually is closest to the Earth. So a lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth is directly between the moon and the sun. And so what this means is that the Earth is casting its shadow on the moon. So that's just kind of a little technical stuff. So during a lunar eclipse, the moon is completely obscured by the Earth's shadow, and it gives the moon that reddish hue. So that's why it's called a blood moon. That's where the term that comes from. Full moon names, particularly those in the Farmer's Almanac, come from a number of places. They come from the Native American cultures, colonial America, and European sources. It just depends on, you know, where you see. So what we call the flower moon might be the something else moon, according to, I think the flower moon is the Algonquin tribe. So that's from the Algonquins, and then the Dakotas have a different name and things like that. So traditionally, each full moon is applied to the lunar month in which it happens, not just to the full moon. So, and you know, what does it mean, the flower moon? Spring. It's spring in North America. So check out the old Farmer's Almanac if you want some of those traditional details. So Denise, when Denise and I were talking, and I told her I was going to do this live and everything, and I don't know if we were talking about the live then, but I think it's what birthed part of this live, was we were talking about the kind of all the little attributes of this one. And what are you noticing? Like, what kind of energy are you noticing kind of out and about in the world? And I'm going to probably switch this view a little bit. Why don't I switch it to, so we could see both of us? What do you think? There we go.
Oh,
We're up close and personal now for you all.
well, for me, this is particularly special full moon eclipse because my birthday was yesterday, and it's a Scorpio full moon with the sun in Taurus, and those two signs are opposite each other in an astrological chart. And so it does make for a lot of, kind of things running into each other, stuff coming up. So, some of the things I've been reading is to have patience, which Taurians don't always have patience. We're pretty stubborn about things. So, and as Debbie mentioned, I got a cold, which I haven't had one in, 5, 7, 8 years. I can't remember. So I have to have patience with myself over that. It's also a time to let go of things. I think, Debbie, you mentioned beginnings and endings, and it's a really great time as things start to come up and bubble up, get in your face. It's a great time to really have patience with yourself and let go of things because things are going to come up and they're going to challenge you during this time.
Yeah, so Tammy says she heard fixed signs are affected the most with this retrograde moon phase.
Yeah, and I believe Taurus and Scorpio are both big signs.
Yeah, there you go. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here. Everybody's saying happy birthday to you. I've been trying to
Thank
put
you.
them up while you were talking. I know it can be a little distracting, but it's what is this? Cheers to the next trip around the sun, Denise.
Thank you all.
Yes. I think my birthday wish was I can't even imagine life without you on this planet right now, right? That's that was something I was just thinking. So yeah, happy solar return a day late. Well, I talked to you yesterday and sang to you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm Taurus. What is it?
Oh, with a
Taurus
Scorpio
sun.
rising.
I don't know what
Wow.
that means. I'm not. Tell me, Denise. What does that mean?
Well, I'm not sure how it would play out in your astrological chart, Deborah, because I'm not an astrologer, although I do follow several of them, and like Debbie does. And I would say, if you're going to read um, readings by astrologers, to try out different ones because they all
Mhm.
basically say the same things, but they just say it in different ways that one might mm, be more in tune with how you take things in. But I know with Taurus and Scorpio being at opposite sides of the astrological chart, it's they're very different people. Um, and yeah, so like I say, I don't know. I had one relationship with a Scorpio and it was quite interesting in many, many ways. Um, but yeah, speaking of astrology, getting your chart read is a very eye-opening and
Mhm.
informative thing to do.
Yeah,
So,
I actually
yeah.
I had Anthony Pico on the phone, or on the phone on the show 2 shows ago, I think it was, and he did my chart, and I still haven't called him to get it, and I'm so annoyed because he gave me a little bit, but I have to call him to find out what's I want to get the details. So that is a little bit of history for those of you who are astrology buffs or in your analyzer and information spaces, because we like to have the information in that way so it makes sense to us. And maybe we don't need to have it there. That's not a bad thing to know about things. But now we get to talk and address directly the empaths and those sensitive to energy as well, because this affects everybody, whether no matter what your rising is, no matter what any of the astrology is, because I do not know that. I just don't. I'm not built that way. Sorry. um, a full moon lunar eclipse is an emotional and sentimental time, and again coupled with Mercury retrograde, those of you who are sensitive, and that means every single one of you that is watching this at any level, right? Because that's why you're here. You've probably been noticing things in your recent, this lifetime that you're in, or past lives coming into your thoughts. Dream space has been a little crazy. So, what's been coming up for you? Think about what's been coming up for you, and particularly what's been going on since April 30th, because that was the new moon eclipse. And this is awesome. Thank you, Josiane. I've been longing for this, for such a discussion for a long time. That's why we're doing it. Thank you for being here, because it's super important that we all talk about this, because we're also, I mean, let's be honest, we've been a little stuck in what's going on in the world. And the one thing we have to remember is that we are, what is it? That we're in the world, but not of it. Or is right? In the world, we live in this world, but we are not this world. We are spirit in this world. And we can change the world by our spiritual part. And this doesn't mean we don't take a stand as humans and do things, but it just means that we need to include that spiritual part and not become all that we are resisting, particularly in the world today. Yeah. So, what have you been noticing, Denise, about what's been going on since April 30th? I've been noticing lots of waves and waves of energies hitting all of us. Um, it's been kind of interesting. I think.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's been, you know, from one world into another. Um, because that first week of May, I was in Bimini in the Bahamas, swimming with spotted dolphins and just being in a giant love pod. And and then having to come home and be sick and wanting to be by myself, but a friend of mine needed a place to stay for a couple of weeks, so she's staying with me. Um, so yeah, kind of, being in a place that's just really wonderful and lovely to having to accept and be patient with myself.
Dichotomies.
Yes.
Yeah, dichotomies. And oh gosh, Richard, you are so right. It's so hard to be in public. The energy is very overwhelming, um, all the way around. So you are not alone. None of you are alone here. In fact, we're all here getting affected by these energies. Like there's just no way around it. And I've just noticed highs and lows and dizziness. And it's been hard to kind of ground and get my space. It's just been kind of this wavy line. So, what the heck? Why don't we make some space? What do you think? Everybody go woohoo wherever you are. Go woohoo. We're going to make some space and we're going to get this place grounded and you grounded, and we're going to shift some energy. However many people are seeing this now, later, um, it doesn't even matter. I was visited. Oh, wait, let's see what say. Oh my God, I was visited by a ninja and a samurai. It's been hard to focus, but it's been very unhappy here despite my surroundings. Yeah, the beings, there's a lot of entities and beings right now that are around us and they are demanding our attention. And so even when I say make some space, that means that we're going to get back our space and our seniority from those beings. And we're going to do that right now. So let's I'm just going to give you a couple of notes about the meditation we'll be doing for those of you who have not experienced one with me before or with Denise. I want you to breathe. First and foremost, breathe. You're going to need a lot more breath during this meditation. Please be seated comfortably, upright with your feet flat on the floor. Might want to put a cushion behind your back. If you practice a different type of meditation, that's great. But for the purpose of this meditation, please practice with your feet on the floor because it's going to help keep you grounded. Denise, I'm going to shift the little windows here, I think. How about that? Let's see. Just so I can, are you good there? Give me a thumbs up because it's very small. Okay, perfect. Because I want to make sure that I can see kind of everything here. So Denise is going to go into control mode and she's going to keep the space safe. So just have your feet flat on the floor wherever you are. I know we're live streaming or you're watching this later, but give yourself a breath. In fact, do that right now. Give yourself a breath and just gently close your eyes or gaze downward, whatever is most comfortable for you. And just tell yourself you're going to give this time to yourself, for yourself, to make space. Yeah, good job. This is a non-judgment space, all inclusive, and that includes not judging yourself, not judging others, not judging if you're doing it right or doing it wrong. There's no right or wrong. We know we are our own harshest critics. So just be in that space of non-judgment. Use your imagination. and just have your experience. Let your thoughts and feelings be whatever they are, whatever comes up for you. Eclipses are about endings, but they're also about rebirth, as Richard brought up the birth earlier. But as we let go of the old and let it eclipse out, so to speak, we give space for new pathways and ideas and clarity. And so one more thing, and I love this. I cannot remember where I read it, where I saw it, but it stuck with me in such an epic way. And that is the earth, the moon, and the sun are our cosmic trinity. The sun represents the soul, self-illuminated, bright and radiant. The moon represents the mind, only able to reflect the light of the soul. And the earth represents our humanness, our finite existence. So right now, give yourself a breath and integrate that mind, body, and spirit trinity, so to speak, and we can bring that all together, because this is what we're doing. We're integrating in meditation and creating a new relationship between mind, body, and spirit. So right here and now, be in the present. Notice what your body is feeling. Notice if it's buzzy or relaxed or calm or stressed or thinking about 10 million things to do. And just be with that. Be with whatever that is for you. And give yourself a breath and focus for a moment on that breath. Just that rise and fall, breathing in, allowing the breath to transform, and exhaling that transformation into the world. And notice how just focusing on your breath, how that is shifting where your attention is back onto yourself from outside of you. Notice where your energy and attention has been. Maybe it's been here with you. Maybe it's been on samurais and other things, other beings who are trying to get your attention. People are trying to get our attention all the time. And that's okay. People have needs. If you have kids, if you have pets, things like that. But take this time for you. This is the best spa moment that you'll have sometimes, because this is an eclipse day and everything's being lit up. And it feels, I think somebody said it earlier. I was working with a client earlier that said it feels very frenetic out there. That's a really good word, frenetic. But give yourself a breath and just notice all those thoughts and the speed with which they're being pushed through. And then just rest your attention in the center of your head, in the center of your awareness, behind the eyes. Just allow any thoughts to flow freely. Let them just float on by like one of those old ticker tapes. I'm guessing not one of you that is on here remembers old ticker tapes from the stock market, but that is showing my age. But just be right here and right now. And then imagine a connection that goes from the base of your spine to the center of our beautiful, abundant planet. And that connection, some people are going to use a tree. Some people will use actually, you can use anything. I have clients who use rainbows, but just create a very solid connection and have it be a hollow connection. So we can go with the tree, connect that tree to the base of your spine and have it go all the way down to the center of the earth and just create roots there. And as you breathe, give yourself space to release anything that no longer serves you, anything that you would like to release, whatever it is. You don't even have to know what it is. And as you're connected from the base of your spine, notice your feet firmly on the floor and your bottom end sitting in the chair. Feel yourself in alignment with that center of head as if you've got a line of energy moving through your body and that you're completely in alignment no matter what's going on around you. These are super powerful tools that when we visualize, our body reacts to mental image pictures. And so imagine that you are just fully connected and aligned with the earth and the sun. And just experience that space as you breathe in. And then as that breath gets transformed, and then you can exhale that transformed energy out into the universe. And just be in this space, in a space of breathe and release. And if you're joining late, that's okay. Just imagine you're connected and aligned. And I'm going to talk about the full moon and the eclipses and all that is being lit up right now for us to release. These eclipses just bring these kind of abrupt things to us, surprises. You may have noticed in your life there were some surprise things or things that you never in a million years thought would happen. And they're happening now or being shown to you. And since it's Mercury retrograde, it could be an old flame who calls you or connects. It could be a project that comes back to life, or actually Denise found some pictures recently that were in a space that she hadn't thought about in a very long time, and she just came across them. Yeah. So give yourself a breath and just allow it to transform you, that very breath. So while still in this space, with your eyes closed or gently gazing down, full moons and eclipses represent completions and endings. And all kinds of light, any kind of time that we're dealing with the light lights up the darkness so we can release what no longer serves us. And this includes any pain, whether it's emotional or physical. It could be regrets. And once we release from those places and spaces, we then can use the energy of the supermoon to recharge our energy. So we've got sun energy we can recharge with. We've got solar, lunar, whatever we want. We're going to replenish what we release. So just gently turn your attention within, in the center of your head, grounded and connected with Mother Earth, and tune into your thoughts. What's on your mind? And it can be anything. Don't even worry about the thoughts. Don't Just notice what they are. Maybe there's guilt. Maybe there's tiredness. Maybe there's dizziness. What's on your mind? Not in the analyzer, not trying to figure it out, but whatever's in your minds. What are your thoughts and what are your feelings? Just notice them and breathe and release. Maybe you're feeling happy. Maybe you're feeling sad. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot of energy out there. And if we try to solve it, we're going to feel overwhelmed. So just notice whatever those thoughts are and just give them a space to be. Let them be. And just recognize you are completely safe and secure and in alignment. I'm holding space for this healing. Denise is holding space for this healing. And give yourself a breath. And in your mind's eye, I'd like you to go ahead and notice the moon. Imagine it large and full. It's very close to the earth right now. And although the actual eclipse, I think it starts at like 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, something like that. And then the moon is fully full at 12:16 a.m. I believe that's Central Time. So 1:16 a.m. I don't know if that's Eastern or which, but it's right around that time. But notice the moon right now as it is. See it in the sky, even if you're, doesn't matter. You could be out east, you could be in the Pacific, but just feel the moon's energy washing over you and washing through you. Bella Luna, so they say. Bella Luna, the beautiful moon. But just feel that energy. It's much more subtle than the energy of the sun. So it's going to actually open up emotional spaces and that space in the mind. So just breathe and just release all those thoughts and those things you've been trying to fix and change. Where I'm being buzzed by some plane. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Sorry about that. Goodness. So just go ahead, and if you've been noticing emotions, maybe I know there's a lot of emotions floating by, and that is all about the moon. So just allow that healing from the moon to just wash over you and wash through you. Cleansing, forgiving, releasing, filling you up with the gentle lunar energies. Notice they're gentle. It's like a gentle breeze flowing through you. And give yourself a breath and just notice if you moved out of the space of the center of your head. And if you did, that's okay. Just check back in and check that alignment from the base of your spine to the center of the earth. Check that you're fully in alignment with the sun and the moon and the earth. And think back to any surprises that have come up since April 30th, which was the solar eclipse. Maybe you heard from somebody you haven't heard from in a long time, or Maybe you were surprised by something that you accomplished even, and you were able to validate yourself. And also begin to notice what Mercury retrograde is prompting you to let go of. What are you reviewing, releasing? Where could you use to fill up, rejuvenate, replenish? Just begin to notice those things and let the energy of the eclipse that's already on us, it's like 6 o'clock, it's only a few hours away, really. It's getting ready. It's already in that phase. And just allow all the energy to light up exactly what you need to know. Give yourself a breath and breathe and release. Just take note of the calm. And then go ahead and ask a question. Maybe there's something that you've wanted to know for a time, or something that has been a recurring theme in your life. Ask a question about it and then be open to receiving whatever that answer is. And you don't need to figure it out or fix it or change it. Just open up to receive the answer to your question with clarity. And breathe into that answer or that truth, whatever that is for you. And then watch as you begin to release anything that is not in alignment with that truth. Anytime we do a meditation like this on a day that is energetically supercharged by a supermoon, it happens much more quickly than other times. Now begin to notice the aspects of rebirth. What is transforming within you? Breathe in excitement and enthusiasm for new things to come. Breathe in the aspects of rebirth, because every time we let go, it is a death of sorts. But it's important to know that death is a rebirth at its very essence. What was is falling away. And then what is has a brand new relationship with the world. Every time we let go, we have a new relationship with everything else. Give yourself a breath. The lunar aspects that we are experiencing are subtle. Yet, in their subtlety, it doesn't mean that they're not powerful. It just means that they're subtle. They don't hit us upside the head like an anvil. They gently allow us to release. The lunar aspects are filled with forgiveness and grace. Notice the subtle energies flowing through you and fill up with those beautiful energies to recharge, revitalize, fill up with forgiving and loving and compassion. Fill up with a new sense of purpose as you allow the moon's radiant light to fill you up. Breathe in the energy of the moon, the full moon. and be content with yourself. And just I'd like you to kind of come back to a little bit of your body and reality and just kind of feel your feet on the floor, feel that connection between the base of your spine and the center of the planet. And as you come back, I'm just going to kind of remind you a little bit that there's going to be one more blood moon eclipse on November 8th. Maybe we'll come back together and see what's happened between now and then, because these two eclipses will work together. So also notice what's going to go on in the world, because there's some big changes happening as it gets illuminated. And the November eclipse is going to likely carry similar themes to what's unfolding now. So really pay attention now. And bring your attention back to the center of your head and notice that body. And create a beautiful golden sun above your head, a gold sun filled with whatever you need. Do you need some enthusiasm? Do you need some love? Do you need some compassion? Do you need some calm, illumination, answers to questions? Just call back your energy from wherever you left it into that gold sun. And then also call into that gold sun some things that you want and need, some qualities and things that you could use to fill up body, mind, body, spirit, and soul. And then give yourself a breath and imagine that gold sun shining down on the top of your head, filling up your whole head and neck and shoulders, your chest, your body, your torso, your belly, your female and male parts, your hips, your legs, your knees, your feet. Imagine you're filling up every cell of your body with this amazing light, this gold sun of rejuvenation, and just really replenish. You can have the gold sun even like if everybody remembers Flashdance, where she had like a bucket of water over her head and you could just fling your head back and just, of course, mine then shows a ring light, but hey, what the heck, fling your head back and allow that water to just wash over you, that sun, until you're sitting in a bubble of golden light. And then go ahead and move around. Just pat your body. You can tell yourself, good job, pat your shoulders, gently open your eyes if you've had them closed, or you can look up and just kind of look around your room and just notice if you feel a little bit different than you did a little while ago. And give yourself a breath and just kind of, come back and give yourself a little more space to be. I'm going to bring Denise back, and you're very welcome. I'm sure, and we're going to sit and discuss for a minute, but might be interesting to hear from Denise. What did you notice? This is the first time I know I threw this at you at the last second, and you had no time to prep. Because I knew the answer might not be yes if you did this. Inez, hey, thank you for being here. Inez is here.
Hey,
You're so
hi.
welcome. So what were you noticing? Because this is a big, this is a big deal. We're streaming on, I don't know if you know this, Denny. We're streaming on 4 channels. We're on YouTube,
Hey.
my Facebook page, my Facebook personal, and on Twitter.
Okay, then.
Yeah, so we're on kind of, we have a big platform, plus again, this stays in perpetuity. But what were you noticing energetically?
Yeah, well, I was noticing at first there was some reluctance to let go and
Mhm.
really sit back within yourselves. And I just saw that as that reluctance to let go of the ego mind that kind of we need that. You know, it interferes with us sometimes of looking within, but we also need the ego mind to operate out in the physical world. And so I
Mhm.
was seeing a reluctance to let go of that, the things that the ego mind builds up to kind of keep you safe out in the world. But then as you started to get more and more looking within and letting go and letting that grounding cord do its work and releasing, and it was really wonderful to watch you all dismantle all of those things. It reminded me of we had a couple of new bridges built in the last, couple of decades, but then they had to dismantle the old bridges piece by piece. And that's what it looked like. Just piece by piece, you were dismantling those things that you didn't need to sit in meditation and look within and let go of the things that you didn't no longer need. So it was really great to watch that. So
Yeah, that
congratulations,
was
everyone.
amazing. And I was noticing a ton of unconsciousness and distraction, particularly with the other entities, the distracting entities. When we really got into the flow of this thing, um, I noticed just a backing off in a huge way, that actually surprised me. I It's not easy to do these meditations. For those of you, listening, it's not easy to handle all the energy from the internet and all the streaming channels and things like that. So, yeah, thank you, Denise. That it just really something, to see everyone as well. And if anybody has any questions, you can drop them in the comment box, and we will answer your. Notice I said we. See, Denise, we. Um, going to answer questions and, even, mini reads on some of the stuff if you need it, if you're feeling particularly in a certain kind of way. Um, and I know that there's a little bit of a delay. Is everybody just kind of stunned out there? Let's see, where is everybody looking from? Oh, a lot of you on YouTube. Yeah, I'm glad anybody's on my page. That's great. Mostly it's on YouTube. So, anybody that's there, please drop a comment. But while we're kind of waiting for the questions, or it helped you relax, yeah. So you feel different, all good. That's Monica. Yeah, it's been really stressful out there. Um, We'll be doing it again tomorrow. Excellent. And you'll have a recording of it. And also, I am starting tomorrow. I have a 6-week class. If you want to get into really the nuts and bolts of all the things that, I mean, we just scratched the surface of this, one little thing. But tomorrow I am doing a, psychic healing foundations. I'm kicking off. I'm just slumped on. Oh, Frenzia, you have COVID? Oh no, I did not know this. I might have known this. That's okay. It's You still got the information, and you've been with me before, so that's great. But starting tomorrow, Psychic Healing Foundations, it's a 6-week course that teaches you how to own your space, work with spirit guides, um, release energy, all kinds of things. It's actually, if you look, if you go to YouTube, or those of you who are on YouTube, if you go and you look at actually the description, there is a page link to my website that is live, and you can click on that and you can find out all the class details. of what we're going to be doing and owning our space and things like that. So if you are interested in joining, and also I'll drop it here if I can get to my website. I'm so glad I'm prepared at every moment for things. I don't know. I'm just multitasking here. You were chilling with your cat. Yeah. So even if you were chilling with your cat, and here's the link, direct link to my page if you want the information. Um, the class is actually, so Tammy, the class is once a week on Monday, and we're not having any class on Memorial Weekend, so it'll resume. So if it's something that you're interested in, everybody gets a recording if you're going to miss a class. But touch base with me on Ladies Surgery, and then we'll look. By the way, I don't know. It looks so. Lady's her dog, Denise. So she actually looks like she's going to be fine and very relieved. Actually, her energy looks like she's going to be relieved. What do you see anything on that, Denise?
Yeah, yeah, the same. It's like, phew, glad that's
Yeah,
over.
there's actually a relief. It's super interesting. I didn't see that before. So yeah, touch base with me. But the class is on Monday from 7 o'clock Central, so 8 o'clock Eastern, and what is that? 5 o'clock? What 765 Pacific, for an hour and a half each week. Other than Memorial Weekend, we'll resume there. So there's that. So yeah, definitely, I would love to have you there. It's just an hour and a half, 6 weeks, and it will change your life. Inez says, I love the balancing, connecting energy with sun, moon, and earth. And welcome me. Inez does the same thing. I'm going to hijack you to come on one day, Inez. We would love to have you. So thank you for sharing that one. And yes, this is all very stressful for you. So join us, and let's continue on that. My company isn't coming either. I don't know what that means, but okay. My company isn't coming. Wait, my company isn't coming either. Okay, not sure what that means, but anyway. Hopefully you will join. So that was my pitch. But I want to thank you all for being here. And you can share what you notice. You can drop it in the comments even later. Thank you for sticking with it. This was a lot of fun. Went pretty quick, don't you think? Oh, sorry, family coming early June. No worries. Yep. Josiane is another one. Love to have you in class. This is great. You feel relieved. Yeah. So sometimes when we're doing this energy work, because Josiane does energy work kind of on her own and kind of on the fly sometimes and things like that. And sometimes we just need to refocus. Yeah, so I imagine it might be a relief. And Richard, thank you so much. You are so welcome. He says thank you. And oh, I love this. I love this. And I'm going to put this up in just a second. So Tammy says that you perked up ladies. So lady got a hello. So yay. I love when that happens. But so this is amazing. Thank you all for being here and sticking with it and following along. I've got a few reading openings. We're starting that new class series. You can find the information on the YouTube description or message me. Let's see. Karen says, oh, thank you. And thank you always. Thank you for your support and for being here. Heidi says, great meditation. Thank you. I too remember real ticker tape parades. Yes, that's a thing. So thank God. So thank you all for being here. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Keep on keeping on. Enjoy the eclipse tonight, the super flower blood moon lunar eclipse. Be well. We'll chat soon. Love you all. Be kind, and goodbye.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, thank you, Denise, for being here. Oh my God, like, what is wrong with me? Thank you, Denise, for being here. We have to add that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.